Now we're going to look at two commands which allow us not to make loops, but to get out of loops, or to get out of scripts. First of all, let's look at the break command. Now, we touched on this very briefly in the context of the switch condition, and let's see how this works with loops. Let's set up a loop similar to the way we did in the first movie of this chapter. And this time we're just going to echo the number of I, the value of I rather, and then we're going to put in a condition here, which is an if statement saying if variable I equals, remember to put that double sign in for equals, 14, then we want to break. We close our loop, and once the loop's finished, we're going to put in another little echo statement reminding us at what point the loop ended. Okay, let's save that and see what this does. Refresh our browser. Goes from 0, adding 1 to I each time, and echoing I to the browser. And finally, it gets to 14. Then we see this line, loop ended at 14. So what happened there? This line allows PHP to escape from this loop, because if we see this condition up here, the loop is supposed to go on until 20. But we've put in an extra condition here that says when the loop is equal to 14, then we're going to ignore this for loop business. We're just going to jump straight out to the end, to the outside of this curly bracket here, and then we're going to execute the next statement, which in this case is echo, another echo command, and it's going to tell us at what point the loop ended. So we can see that break is a way of adding conditions within a loop that allow us to get out. The other command I want to show you in this movie is the exit command. So let's take off those commands there. And I think the easiest way to show this is simply by using two echo commands, which will simply say this text will be shown. Then we're going to use the exit command. Remember to put semicolons at the end of all the lines. And then we're going to say this text won't. Let's save that and check it out in our browser. So, the only text that's shown is the text from the first echo statement. So as we can see, what exit does as a command is it effectively tells PHP to ignore everything below it. It tells PHP to stop processing this entire script and jump right down to this close PHP tag and stop. So there are two other control statements that we can use. Exit is slightly more drastic than break, but both are very useful, and we'll find uses for them as we start writing more complex scripts. That's the end of this chapter, and in our next chapter we're going to look at ways of manipulating data, which is what PHP and other middleware is all about.